Hi, Brian McAboy with Inside Out Trading. I teach traders how to make their profits so predictable that they can quit their day job without fear. Today, we're going to talk about the best way to deal with FOMO, and really it starts with understanding it. But so that's what we're going to get into today. Now, the first thing about FOMO, and really, if you're wanting to get past it, if you're tired of FOMO causing you to chase trades that don't work out, and you're tired of chasing trades and then regretting it later because they cost you money. If FOMO is something you're fighting with, you want to pay attention. There's a couple of different aspects to it that we're going to look at right now. The first thing is really, where does FOMO come from? If you look at, and everybody loves the term, I'm big on words. I always have been, because words are concepts. They're understanding. They're powerful. And so let's take a look at the term itself. Fear of missing out. So let's see. Fear of missing out. Why would you have a fear of missing out? Generally, FOMO presents itself every day, all around you, if you think about it. You drive through money opportunities every day. If you're leaving your house, or even if you just get online. Let's say you hop online and you go to Amazon and you're just browsing around. Even when you first open up the page, there's FOMO right there. Oh my God, there's all these things being sold and people are making money with them. FOMO could get you there, but why don't they? Why doesn't FOMO hit you when you look on Amazon and you see all the different stuff being sold and you know that there's people selling that stuff making money? When you drive down the road, maybe going to the grocery store or whatever, you pass by a car dealership. You know how much money is sitting there in a car dealership? Let's say on the low end, let's just make it easy. Let's say the cars are worth $50,000 each. For every 20 cars, that's $1 million. Whoa. Yeah. Every 20 cars on a car lot. So let's say you drive by a nice big dealership and they've got 100 cars out there. That's $5 million worth of cars you're driving by. That's a truckload of money. You drive down, the street in a decent neighborhood. Say the houses are worth $250,000 each. Just driving down the street for 5 minutes, you probably pass $10 or $20 million worth of property. So there's money everywhere. There's tons of money everywhere. So sitting there saying, oh, the FOMO, it's getting me because I'm looking at the charts and I see money being made. You deal with that all the time. Why is it that the charts are triggering you, whereas you drive by a dealership, there's $5 million sitting there and they're probably making several, maybe $10,000, $20,000 a day, at least, hopefully, if they're moving some cars. Why doesn't that get you? Why aren't you sitting there saying, God, I got to go open my own dealership. I got to buy a car and sell it. Why is FOMO not getting you there? Because you're not worried about that. Because, first of all, you're not focusing on it. But the thing is, because you have a general security. You have a car, right? You have a place to live. That's one of the things. You're secure in that. You're not needing that. You're not seeing yourself as lacking that. The point is, the FOMO, the fear of missing out, is an insecurity. That's really at the heart of fear of missing out. You consider and say, oh no, there's greed too. Now there's a difference between fear of missing out and greed, and properly jumping on opportunities to present themselves. But we'll get to that in just a second. Right now, we're talking about FOMO. And if you're fighting FOMO, where you're watching the markets and man, you just keep getting triggered into chasing trades you shouldn't, this is the kind of FOMO we're talking about. We're talking about an unhealthy FOMO that actually triggers you into making mistakes that cost you money. How do you deal with this? The best way that I've found, in working with hundreds of traders over the last 19 years, best way I've found to deal with FOMO is to get so good at what you're doing and so secure in what you're doing. And really, this is the bottom line, not just having this courage or confidence or whatever, but where you're down in your bones because you've tested things out, you've written it, you've created a good process, works down in your bones, it works. You've proven it out, you know exactly what to expect from it. Wins, losses, profitability, potential drawdown, all that kind of stuff. You know what to expect from it, not hope. You're coming from a place of knowing, and you know that you're solid executing it. When you have that kind of security and you start having that experience, you have proof with your own hands that, yeah, I'm solid. The markets can do whatever they want, and it's not going to trigger you. Because I guarantee if your FOMO is bad enough, you can look at pretty much any chart and get your mouth watering and getting jumpy and the fear of missing out kicking in. Of course, it's worse when you're seeing a big move, of course. But the thing is, the FOMO is coming from an insecurity. Maybe you're doing okay and FOMO is still getting you. But again, if you know that you're solid and you know that, yeah, my financial goals, I want to be making 20 grand a month, and what I've got will deliver that. And I have no reservations about it. I don't have any doubt. I know down in my bones I'm operating from a position of knowing. FOMO doesn't get you. You can sit there and wait for your setups, wait for what you're looking for, watch the market do its thing, and it won't trigger you because you're okay. It's when you're not okay. It's when what you've got is iffy. You've got a system or a strategy that you have doubts about. You don't know really what to expect from it. You're hopeful, but you don't really know what to expect from it. And if your execution is pretty sketchy, if you're just having a hard time executing, period, yeah, that's going to give you FOMO all day long because you're thinking, oh my God, I'm looking at something and there's money there. And if I'm so shaky in what I've got, I have to jump on this opportunity because otherwise I might not make it. That's where the FOMO is coming from. Or, gosh, I might miss out on all those profits. But it generally is coming from an insecurity. And now, if it is straight up greed, again, I still say it's coming from an insecurity because if you have your financial goals set, you know what you and you're treating this at least somewhat like a business. You have your financial goals and you have things in place to that do deliver on those goals. As an experienced business owner, you learn over time to stop chasing shiny objects and doing foolish things that, again, the greed stuff. You learn how to experiment and try things and place bets from a position of knowing and calculation and proper wisdom. You're doing things in a prudent manner. There's a difference between that and just straight up greed. Generally, and this is why I love working with business owners who want to trade. You've already learned your lessons in running a business because you've run a business. I love working with traders who've run a business because you've learned those lessons. It's, yeah, place calculated bets, but you're not going to just chase stuff. Trading's the same way. Yeah, of course, everybody wants to make money. But when you say, oh, it's the greed factor, I still say the greed generally, it's coming from a place of fear and insecurity. And when you're really solid and you know that what you've got works and you're solid trading it, the FOMO is not going to come up. The greed, you might see it and you'll be like, wow, that looks like a great thing. Here's the best way to approach it. You have your regular stuff that you trade all the time and it works and it delivers and you're solid with it. What you want to do is if you do see an opportunity and it just plain from experience, what to do when you see this opportunity, you have a strategy for this circumstance and you know how to execute it properly, but it's not part of your normal playbook, fine. Have a play for this and develop a process, a trading strategy process for this, so that when you do see those situations, yes, you can trade it in a prudent manner and you're not just gambling, having fun with the greed factor. Ooh, with a lot of money, I think I'll go ahead and throw the dice over here because, I'm doing okay. No, then you can still go after the other stuff, but you're doing it in a prudent manner. And it's so that desire to make money, it's not coming from just straight up greed, but it's understanding, yes, this is my business. I want to safeguard my resources. I want to do things in a prudent manner. And I'm serious about making it a long-term endeavor. And I am here for playing the long game. So a lot of this, if you pay attention to the general tone of it and what I've learned in working with traders over the years, the successful traders, we've matured enough to where the emotional crap, the rookie stuff, doesn't really get us anymore. It's in those early stages when we're still trading like an amateur that a lot of those things happen. And again, it's really just a matter of maturity and emotionally growing up as a trader. We stop with all the childish crap. I'm not saying you're being childish, but there's a range of maturity. And I'm not judging anybody. My first year, I was trading like a rookie, a child. I was being stupid. I was not being grown up about this. I was doing all kinds of stupid things. I didn't know what I was doing. And it was only when I focused on getting good as a trader, deciding that I was going to get good at this and maturing emotionally and fiscally, financially, just treating this like a grown up, like a business owner. That's really when things turn around mentally. That's the big shift. So if you're fighting FOMO, understand it's coming from a place of insecurity. So what you want to do, get help so you can get a solid handle on all of this trading stuff. The insecurity is coming because you're missing something. And what you want to do, make sure that you have what you need to be solid at this, to have that well-founded knowing that you're solid. that security in yourself and your trading in your system. So that, yeah, the markets can do what they want and you're not going to be feeling like, oh my God, I'm missing out. No, it won't happen. Again, because you've matured and you've developed yourself to the point where the markets don't torment you with all the money that's there. You can drive by it and see it all day long. You can look at it on your charts all day long. It doesn't bother you. It can be there and it's okay because you know you're solid. So if this has been helpful, swing by InsideOutTrading.com. If you would like to find out how to engineer your profits so they get so predictable that you can walk away from your day job without fear, swing by InsideOutTrading.com. Let's talk about your situation, see what's holding you back. If I can help you out, great. If I'm not the person to help you, I can point you in the right direction. I got a lot of colleagues in the space that have been around for a long time. They're good people. They'll take good care of you. But don't just settle for trading that's not working and chasing trades that just keep you on the cycle of make money, lose money. Let's get you past that and onto trading that really does work. So again, I hope this has been helpful. If you've enjoyed this, give me a like, subscribe down below, leave me a comment, and swing by InsideOutTrading.com. Also, I'm doing weekly workshops where we talk about engineered profits, how to make your profits so predictable. Again, you can walk away from your day job without fear. If you'd like to learn about more about that, swing by InsideOutTrading.com. In the meantime, hope this has been helpful. Talk to you soon. Cheers.